Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is August 19th, and right now we're going to take a look at the mid-level water vapor loop, and we're going to play through yesterday. We had some thunderstorm activity and some gusty winds yet again, and we're going to take a look at that right now. Let's play this through. You can see as we went through the morning hours here, we're right about, actually it's about 1 p.m. there. You can see the thunderstorm activity across some of northwest Oregon. That quickly moved up across western Washington here. A lot of lightning strikes and very gusty winds with that thunderstorm activity. You can see there was a pretty strong storm down there across Black Diamond as well. And that activity moved up across the North Puget Sound back up into southwest BC also. We had some pretty gusty winds. I know Burien had several thousand people without power. We had some downed trees here in Normandy Park as well. So pretty active day there yesterday. And then we put this into motion in the overnight hours and towards this morning. You can see the upper level low is still right off our coastline here, and still some cooler air aloft with that. Could trigger a thunderstorm today across some of the coastal areas. I don't see anything yet. If I play through here, I don't see any lightning strikes yet, but we have a thunderstorm chance, slight chance for today and tomorrow. Not like what we've seen the last 2 days, no doubt, but through the extended forecast, and actually not even too far off in the extended, we've got another upper level low that's dropping down off our coastline here as we go through Wednesday and Thursday. That's going to bring multiple rounds of precipitation potentially to some of the area, and it could trigger some thunderstorms with it yet again. So the active weather is not done, folks. Now, taking a look at the peak winds yesterday, look at Tacoma, Snohomish, 49 and 48, Puyallup, 43, Chelan at 42, the UW checking in at 39, look at Whidbey Island, 38, SeaTac, Bowingfield, and Arlington, all checked in at 36. I got a 42 mile per hour gust at my house, and my neighbor was sending me pictures as I was out chasing of a 2-foot diameter tree that was just broken off and it hit his neighbor's transformer that led to 4 different houses, and they were all out of power. So yeah, pretty active day there yesterday. Also, the Seattle National Weather Service actually has some of that Tuesday and Wednesday for some chance of thunderstorms here, but it's not going to be as extensive coverage as the last 2 days. However, that troughing that drops down Wednesday and Thursday is looking a little bit interesting. We're going to go over that in some detail as well as the active weather continues. So this is day 1. You can kind of see we don't have a thunderstorm threat today per the SPC, but you can't rule one out, especially across some of Vancouver Island and some of the Olympic Peninsula. Now, if we go through day 2 and then day 3, we start to reintroduce things here, and we'll be looking at that coming up. Now, if we look at the HRRR, this is the 12Z run. Let's put this into motion. And as we go through the day to day, you can kind of see that activity, Vancouver Island Peninsula here, as we go through the overnight hours. And then through tomorrow, it does show some thunderstorm activity coming across as we go through the later morning and the afternoon hours here. But, just a couple of thunderstorms there. Nothing like what we have been getting. And then we go on in through, Wednesday morning there. But the European, that into motion. This is for today. Let's scroll through the afternoon hours. Not talking about much here for Western Washington. We go through on in through Tuesday, and it does show a little bit popping off here. So you can't rule out a few lightning strikes across Western Washington on Tuesday. Then we go on in through Wednesday. Let's see what it says. Maybe across some, they're starting to emerge there. And this will be about the time the trough is dropping down out of the north and west. And you can see by Wednesday night, it's starting to show some of that potential here across Western Washington. Not much showing up for Western Oregon just yet, but that might be changing here as we go on in through Thursday. As you can see, more thunderstorm activity here rolling in. Now we're going to take a look at the upper levels of the atmosphere starting right now. 500 millibars, 18,000 feet. That's the upper level low, still right off our coastline here. So the chance of thunderstorms tomorrow is because of that upper level low and that cooler air aloft kind of moving across the region here as we go through the day. And then you see the next polar lobe dropping down here, the next troughing as it drops into place as we go through Thursday. And the question is, how far west will this set up versus how far east? If you get this a little bit further off to the west, you can get some better dynamics back across Pacific Northwest and some more unstable air back across the region. More on that here in a moment. But first, I want to take a look at SeaTac. Again, 78 degrees yesterday, not bad. We warmed up pretty well. That's the average high for this day during the month of August. And we are now ahead on the month so far. We're still need to do some work to remain there. But, that was not bad here a couple of days ago, picking up almost half an inch of rain. And if you take a look at the average temperature, departure from average, all of Washington State has been above average so far this month. Some areas fairly substantially so. You see the oranges and the darker oranges is 4 to 6 and 2 to 4. That's pretty substantial. Because August is a pretty warm month across the region here. The yellows are 0 to 2. Some portions of the west slopes of the Cascades of Oregon have been below average, but that's really about it across Washington, Idaho, and Oregon. Montana, different story. You've got most of the state actually has been below average with some areas slightly above. If we take a look at precipitation, this now includes the storm that came up 2 days ago, and you can see the heavy amounts there across some of the southern Washington Cascades, right there, the Williams Mine fire and across the gorge. And actually, you can see the Puget Sound slightly above average right now, but it's kind of a mixed bag. And where we have some of that extreme drought that was introduced, you have that below average precipitation. So now let's take a look at what precipitation is coming up here. This is the European as of last night, and this goes through tonight. Here we go. You can see that precipitation. Not bad totals that are showing up as we go through tomorrow morning. And then the upper level low moves overhead as we go through Tuesday. And it does bring a few showers, but not too much. Then we bring the next polar lobe down as we go through Wednesday. Here's Wednesday night. We go to Thursday. You can see there's some hefty precipitation amounts showing up yet again for some areas of the Puget Sound. Look at Vancouver Island, the Olympic Mountains getting a nice dose of rain here as well. We scroll through Thursday and that trough drops down the coastal areas here and might start to bring some precipitation for western Oregon and the Cascades of Oregon also. So that would be about Thursday afternoon showing here. But look at that. Another inch for Seattle. I would definitely take that. That would be quite nice. Now here's looking at the European ensemble members as far as precipitation. So you can see the control run just over an inch there. That's the blue line. The ensembles, though, paint a different picture. You can see the mean is much lower, around 0.4 of an inch, but still not bad at all. The individual ensemble members are these gray lines here, and the green, of course, is the mean of those ensemble members. This control run is the initial conditions, best we understand them. Taking a look at the national blend of models here, total precipitation in inches. Let's see what it has to say here. As we go through the day tomorrow, it does bring a little bit of precip in towards some of the Puget Sound, southwest Washington. Better totals, of course, across the Olympic Peninsula and Vancouver Island. We scroll on in towards a Wednesday and Thursday, and you can clearly see Oregon getting in the action there as we go on in through Thursday and Friday coming up here. So yeah, we could really score with this trough as well and bring some of that measurable precip. A lot of the Columbia Basin, though, it's pretty typical here. It gets kind of skunked out there as well. So maybe that won't hurt any dust devil chances as we go through the end of August. Haven't been on one of those chases in a couple weeks now, though. But taking a look here at the GFS, the 12Z run hot off the presses. Let's put this into motion. There's our upper level low swinging through Tuesday. And then we drop this one off the coastline here. So, yeah, that could bring some instability back across the region. We might kick off a couple thunderstorms there, but it does not look quite as dynamic as the last system. But still pretty notable here with this trough dropping right down across the Oregon-California border as we go through the end of the week coming up. And then we scroll off into the future a bit, and you can see some ridging start to build on the west coast of North America. And on a side note, look at that tropical cyclone activity trying to move towards the Hawaiian Islands as we go on into early next week. But yeah, you can see the ridge start to dominate a bit here. So we may end the month of August above normal temperatures, as you can see. Kind of a signal showing up for that. Now taking a look at last night's European model. This is the ensemble mean. Upper level low swings through, and there goes that upper level low. Really good confidence on this polar lobe just dropping down off our coastline there, and then maybe some ridging starting to build in here as we go through the later portion of August. Now if we take a look at the K-index, this is a wide view of things here. The Hawaiian Islands are there. This kind of shows some of the instability in the atmosphere. There's our upper level low here. You can see we don't destabilize too much, just a little bit for some of the western areas. And then as we go through Tuesday, the upper level low moves over the top, and we do destabilize a bit. So that could kick off a thunderstorm or two. Then we get the upper level low dropping down off the coastline here, and you can kind of see it spreading that instability back up across. You get the defluence aloft, means convergence at the surface. And I'll show you what I mean by that here in a moment. But first, let's look at the European at 18,000 feet. There's the upper level low swinging through. So again, defluence aloft means convergence at the surface. You can see this here. You got the cyclonic rotation here with this upper level low, and you get the defluence aloft again. And then at the surface, you get convergence. So you can kind of see these winds spreading out here on the east side of this upper level low. Sorry, I'm already thinking ahead to this diagram. But you can see the confluence, convergence here. Then you get the speed up, and then the defluence aloft. And this is at 500 millibars, 18,000 feet. So what that means is when you get that defluence aloft, you get what is known as the chimney effect there, and you get this rising motion, and it tries to help form a surface low and convergence, more importantly, below and in some of the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So hopefully that makes sense, and I didn't just confuse you more on that. But upper level divergence equals lower level convergence, and that's why we'd be looking at some potential precipitation coming up with that upper level low dropping off our coastline like this. And again, this is the GFS hot off the press. It's kind of showing you that divergence aloft in some of the southerly flow there. So taking a look at the daily 2-meter max temperature, this is for today. Look at that, warming up towards some of the mid 70s here, upper 70s for the Willamette Valley. Of course, warmer east of the mountains. Put that into motion. Actually, let's go to Tuesday. Cool down a little bit there. Upper level low going right over our heads. And then we go through Wednesday. Thursday, upper level low will be around, kind of suppressing temperatures. Look at that, only some upper 60s maybe for Friday with that upper level low pretty close by. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe starting to warm up a bit here as we go towards the end of the month. We'll see what that looks like tomorrow. I just wanted to point this out as well. We do have some extreme drought. We did get some nice rainfall amounts, but right into the southern Washington Cascades. Didn't get much up into the extreme drought area. So we did get a little bit though, so maybe it'll help out. But yeah, we'll just have to wait for the next update on the drought monitor. You can see some of western Washington abnormally dry, but not too big of a deal. Here's the 6 to 10 day, some troughing around. Makes sense, right, with the below normal signal there. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook above normal across Pacific Northwest. And here's the above normal that starts to show up, potentially some of that ridging building in as we go through the end of the month. But yeah, interesting stuff the last few days. I mean, it was fun out there. I went out down towards Highway 101 out here just off to the west of Olympia and caught some really nice cloudscapes in the sky. Just constant thunder going on with some of those storms. Got some hail, some gusty winds, some heavy rain. So it was a fun day out there. Got some nice video. I'm going to try to put together a video here in the next couple of days to kind of summarize the last 2 days. But otherwise, yeah, we'll continue to watch this stuff. Interesting system dropping down here, and those can pack surprises during the month of August, and we'll continue to watch it. We'll break it down even in more detail tomorrow. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a good day. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.